Whiskey lovers might debate on whether it's better to drink it neat or mixed into a cocktail. But have you ever considered investing in this golden-colored spirit? Whiskey is a great alternative investment asset, just like gold, wine, and real estate. Whiskey can preserve and even increase in value during economic instabilities, inflationary periods, and recessions. Additionally, whiskey investing gained a lot of popularity in recent years, and now might be just the perfect time to ride the wave. In this video, we are going to talk about investing in whiskey for beginners. If you are interested, so stay tuned into the video. Definitely you will find some value. Let's move on towards the topic. The demand and prices of whiskey have grown steadily, even during the pandemic. In 2020, the market exceeded $60 billion and was projected to grow at a 5.9% annual rate between 2021 and 2027. And rare whiskey bottles often sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's explore more about the whiskey investment opportunities, factors to consider before investing, and how you can invest in this age-worthy drink. We will also cover the 10 best whiskey bottles to invest. Starting with 4 reasons why whiskey makes a great investment. 1. Historical performance. Historical data shows that the whiskey industry has experienced stable growth in the past decade. There's a good chance that this trend will continue, meaning you can expect good profits from your whiskey investment in the future. Here's an overview of the whiskey market growth for the period 2012 to 2022. The Apex 1000 Index, tracking the performance of 1,000 rare whiskey bottles, has shown a steady growth of over 416%. The Rare Whiskey Icon 100 Index, tracking the performance of 100 collectors' bottles, has grown by 391%. The Rare Whiskey Vintage 50 Index, tracking the performance of 50 of the oldest bottles, has grown by 301%. According to the Knight Frank Wealth Report, the Knight Frank Index of rare Scottish single malts has increased by 586%. 2. Market growth. In recent years, whiskey has grown in popularity both as a drink and an investment opportunity. In 2021, the whiskey market was valued at $79.6 billion and was predicted to grow to $109 billion by 2025. The demand for whiskey is almost equal in Asia, Europe, and North America. However, Asian investors show a special affinity to this alternative asset. Also, investing in whiskey is a popular trend among younger investors, attracted by its affordable price and potential for huge returns. 3. Returns on investment. The average annual return on whiskey is about 10% for private investors. However, an exceptional, rare bottle can fetch much greater returns. 4. Accessibility. A few intelligent online investing platforms have made whiskey investment accessible to both avid collectors and the average retail investor. You can even invest as little as a few $100s and buy a few whiskey bottles right away. Besides tracking the whiskey market trends, you should also consider whether you want to invest in bottles, casks, or stocks. Let's start with 3 main ways by which you can start your investing journey in whiskey. 1. Invest in whiskey bottles. One of the easiest ways to invest in whiskey is to buy bottles directly and store them until you decide to sell at a profit. 2. Invest in whiskey barrels. Some distilleries sell whiskey in casks, allowing you to buy the spirit at wholesale prices and obtain full cask ownership. Usually, cask investment is the more affordable and suitable option if you're not sure which whiskey bottles will perform well. However, investing in cask whiskey can be risky since your investment barrels and their safety depend entirely on the distillery. So you need to be 100% sure that your whiskey is in safe hands. You should hold the whiskey barrels for a minimum of 3 years before you can bottle your product. Alternatively, you can sell the barrels to a distillery, which will then make a blend of your and other casks. If you decide to go for cask trade, familiarize yourself with the Cask Investment Guidelines, released by the Scotch Whisky Association. 3. Invest in whiskey stocks and funds. If you want to invest in whiskey but prefer sticking to traditional stocks, you can buy whiskey company stocks instead. Some of the public traded companies that own some of the most famous whiskey brands include Diageo, Brown-Forman, Pernod Ricard, Constellation Brands, Remy Cointreau. However, keep in mind that your stocks will be directly affected by the whiskey market fluctuations and the company's performance. If you want to reduce the risk, you can also consider investing in whiskey funds like Platinum Whiskey Investment Fund or Single Malt Fund. Now it's time to discuss 5 factors to consider before investing in whiskey. 1. Determine your budget. Decide how much you can invest initially. You can start with a few $100s if you're investing in bottles. However, if you are investing in casks, your initial investment will be around $20,000. 2. Understand that it's a long-term investment. If you are searching for some short-term results, whiskey investment might not be suitable for you. Generally, the annual whiskey returns are around 10%, but you need to consider what whiskey you'll be investing in and its past performance. Once you do that, check whether the projected returns align with your investment purposes and goals. 3. Be aware of the major brand names. If you're investing in bottles, look out for the brand names that have historically performed well in the whiskey investment market. 4. Do your research. Before you start investing in whiskey, make sure to do your research on the whiskey basics like whiskey tastings, alcohol content, and company background. 5. Find a trustworthy seller. If you're a whiskey enthusiast who's just starting out on whiskey investing, make sure that you go to a reputable and trustworthy retailer. Established sellers guarantee authenticity and usually give good advice. If you're buying casks, the retailer should give you a sample of the cask. Also, they should have all the licenses and ownership documents needed to sell casks. As I told you in the beginning, I will share 10 best whiskey bottles to invest, so these are here. But before moving forward, if you like my effort, so please like this video and subscribe to my channel, because I upload these types of well-researched investing videos regularly onto my channel. Now move on towards the topic. 10 great whiskey bottles you can invest in right now. 1. Bowmore Black Bowmore, the last cask 50-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, $133,118. This single cask whiskey bottle cost below $100 in 1993, but today it's valued at over $100,000. This rare Scotch whiskey takes its black color from aging for decades in sherry whiskey cask barrels. The nose reveals black cherry aromas, while the palate is enriched with silky mango, acacia, and chocolate flavors. 2. Old Rip Van Winkle 25-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, $55,165. This rare whiskey is produced in only 710 bottles and has an alcohol content of 50%. The soft palate reveals pronounced oak flavors and sweet sugars that balance out the high ABV. It's a refined American whiskey and an incredible addition to any whiskey collector's portfolio. 3. Karuizawa Ruby Douche, a 38-year-old single malt Japanese whiskey, $47,904. This Japanese whiskey hails from the Karuizawa Ghost Distillery. This is an extremely rare whiskey with an ABV of 54% and well-balanced sweet, savory, and spicy notes. Murray McDavid Mission McAllen 36-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, $3,192. This great McAllen Scotch whiskey was created in 1969 and bottled in 2006. There are just 900 bottles of this fine spirit. The fine whiskey bottle exudes smoky aromas with pear hints and a peppery palate. 5. Rosebank 30-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, $3,190. Here we have a rare Scotch whiskey that has been aged for 30 years in a cask. The bottled whiskey can age many more years, thanks to its high ABV of 48.6%. This rare bottle of cask whiskey reveals a soft and creamy palate with vanilla, caramel, and oak spice flavors. It's a great aged whiskey for both celebrations and investing. 6. Lafroig, the Iron Hunter's Story Book 2, Building an Icon 30-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, $1,441. This fine whiskey was aged 30 years in Spanish Oak Oloroso sherry barrels. The sensual palate presents your taste buds with delicate peatiness, flavor notes of toffee and dried fruit, and head-spinning tobacco and chocolate aromas. 7. Navakushu 18-year-old single malt whiskey, $850. Acacia is one of the most sought-after Japanese whiskey brands. It has won several prestigious awards, including the International Spirits Challenge Gold Award in 2017 and 2016. This single malt whiskey has a golden color, honey and citrus aroma notes, and a flavorful yellow fruit palate. 8. McAllen 36-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey Director's Special, $3,296. Here we have an aged whiskey bottle. a unique spin-off of the more traditional sherry oak-aged McAllens. This Scotch whiskey is aged in a single oak barrel and is bottled under the Director's Special label. It offers rich orchard fruit flavors with subtle vanilla and spice underlayers. The texture is silky and reveals lingering buttery and nutty hints. 9. Johnnie Walker Blue Label Port Ellen Ghost and Rare Blended Scotch Whiskey, $409. This fine drink is a superb blend of rare reserve whiskeys with Islay single malt from the Ghost Distillery Port Ellen, closed officially in 1983. This unique label offers a sweet vanilla nose intertwined with subtle citrus flavors and a long seductive finish with smoke hints. 10. The Yamazaki 12-year-old single malt whiskey, $211. This elegant and smooth whiskey hails from Kyoto, Japan. It is an award-winning spirit with peach and candied orange aromas, followed by a spicy palate that features clove, cinnamon, and ginger notes. Whiskey presents great investment opportunities. I hope now you understand how you can invest in whiskey if you are a beginner. So that's it for today. And if you will find my video valuable, so don't forget to like and subscribe. We will meet again with another interesting topic. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.